What is up, you guys? Happy Monday morning. I hope y'all had a great weekend. We went climbing, so it was a good weekend. Welcome to my second, number 2, Q&A video. About a week ago, I posted on YouTube that we were going to be doing this Q&A, and I got a bunch of great questions from you guys, and I wrote some of them down so that I can go through and just answer them one by one for you guys. So thank you to everybody that posted questions, and I'm going to be doing these more often. That was originally in celebration of 600 subscribers, and I hit 800 last week as well. So thank you guys for the support. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tunes into these videos. Be sure and like this video, comment below, and let me know what you guys think. And as always, hit that thumbs up. It really helps me out. It helps the channel grow. So let's keep growing. Let's get to this Q&A video. All right, so first question, it's actually regarding my anxiety and contest prep. I know you've talked about having anxiety. How do you deal with competitions and being on stage? It seems like an extremely nerve-wracking thing to do. So if you guys don't know, I do have severe anxiety. I'm currently taking a prescription for it, which has been helping tremendously. So I'm super excited about that. But honestly, my anxiety just kind of goes through cycles. There'll be weeks and months where I go and I don't feel any anxiety out of the normal. And then I'll go for weeks where it's almost unbearable, to be honest. Leading up to the show, my anxiety was getting worse, and then coming up to the show, I actually tapered off of that medicine, but I started taking an herbal supplement called Anxiety Free. Let me go grab it. I started taking this 2 pills a day, and of course I'm not certified to recommend any kind of products, so do your own research, talk to your physician about it. It's a natural supplement. I got it at a herbal supplement stores. So I started taking that up until my show. And it actually helped tremendously during my prep and on show day. I did have a few anxiety attacks leading up to my show, but it was really things that I just worked through. And I mean, honestly, the best ways for me to deal with it, and what helped me for my first show was prayer and support, and just having the support of my husband and my family and friends, and knowing that I wasn't in any real danger. One of the feelings with anxiety is just this feeling of impending doom. It's crazy. But actually on show day, it was so funny because I woke up the morning of my show and I had slept with my hand on my stomach. So I woke up with a handprint in my tan. Normally that would have sent me into a full-on panic attack, tears, possibly not doing the show. It's something that would have sent me probably off the edge with my anxiety. But I woke up, I saw it, kind of laughed at it, realized that there wasn't really anything that I could do immediately, texted my coach about it, and they ended up touching it up right before the show. So it was neat to be able to work through that and not let my anxiety get the best of me. So really, for me, it just takes prayer, support, and figuring out what works best for me and how to work through it, because I know that people with anxiety, different things work for them in working through their anxiety and their panic attacks. So hopefully that helps answer the question. It is kind of hard to answer because it's something that I just deal with day by day. Some days my anxiety is different and it takes different ways to work through it. So I was just calm that day. It was really cool. How many shows have you competed in? What's your opinion on bikini? How are you able to keep your relationship sane during your prep? So that's kind of a 3-parter. I've competed in 1 show. That was back in December. So I'm still a newbie when it comes to this whole bodybuilding thing. That's why I love these vlogs, why I love letting you guys know this whole process because I'm still figuring it out for myself. As y'all know, if you've been following my journey to this stage, weekly vlogs, I've been in the contest prep mentality for a while now, and I had to change my show date because my body was not responding in the way that I thought it was going to. So I took a few weeks to figure it out, got right back on track, and now I'm heading towards my next show. I did figure that was back in December 6th of 2014. I placed 8th place in the open class out of, I think there were 26 women. They all looked amazing. At second call outs for my first show, I was ecstatic because I went into it having no expectations, having never done a show before, didn't know what to expect when it came to how the show was going to be scheduled and how the whole day was going to go. So I was so ecstatic with my placing and getting second call outs. I couldn't have asked for better. And the women that did get first call outs, of course, looked phenomenal. So it just motivated me to do even better for my next show. So that's my first show. What's your opinion on bikini? I love it. It's not for me. I do feel that I'm a little more muscular than what bikini calls for. Not very gifted in the chest region, so I don't have that nice shape as much that I feel fits more into bikini, because it is for the all-American look is how I've heard it referred to. It's more of very fit, very healthy women, but still a little higher body fat so that you look more normal, if you want to call it that. So in normal day-to-day life, you have basically the ideal body. 99% of women want to look the way a bikini girl looks. And going into figure, you're a little more muscular, you're a little more lean, so it is going to have a little more of that manly look, as so many people like to call it, when really it's just muscle. So really it just fits into what goal you want to achieve and what you prefer. If you don't want to be as lean or as muscular, then do bikini. If you do like to be a little more muscular and a little leaner, or try to get a little leaner, then do figure physique. It's really personal preference. I have no I don't have anything against any of the different classes of competing. I think that if I were to try to do something like that, it would come off as really weird and really awkward. So I'm going to stick to the traditional posing where I do this kind of thing and, do my chest and see how that goes for me. So how are you able to keep your relationship sane during prep? My husband is an amazing man. And I'm going to try not to cry or get choked up about this, but I don't know where I would be without him. And having him there to support me means more to me than any competition, than any physical, mental, any kind of goal. He pushes me to pursue my dreams and pursue my passion, whether that would be doing bodybuilding shows or opening a restaurant. Whatever my goals are, he is supporting me, and that is the most amazing thing that I could ever ask for. And the fact that he is my husband is just, it blows my mind, and I'm so thankful to have him. So to be completely honest, I do so many things that I feel that would make any other person throw up their hands, get pissed off, have to walk away. But he always shows patience. He's always patient. He's always kind. He's always forgiving. It's just amazing. And keeping our relationship sane is, of course, it's a two-way street. Whenever I do something stupid, I have to own up and admit to it. Or if I'm short with him because I'm tired, or if I didn't get enough sleep, or if I am hungry, I have to realize that he's just there loving me and supporting me. And a lot of it has to take apologizing, and owning up to your actions and learning from them and taking those and moving forward. So on days whenever, prep gets really tough, or if I'm really frustrated with myself in the gym, sometimes I do try and take it out on him with frustration. I'll get short with him, but after a while I'll feel like an idiot, and I'll try and apologize or make it up to him, because he is so supportive. And like I said, I don't know how he puts up with me, but keeping our relationship sane really just revolves around our faith and what our marriage is based on, and everything else kind of falls into place from there. And I'm just so thankful to have him. So that's that. Sorry to get all mushy on you guys. Do you do typical bulk and cut cycles? And how long have you seriously been lifting weights? In my previous Q&A, you guys can go back and click on that. The link is right here. I talk a little bit about my fitness journey, where I came from, so I don't want to get too much into that. But bodybuilding type lifting, it's probably been 2 years now. And it's not a long time. My fitness and lifting journey is longer than that. And like I said, go check out that video so you can hear more a little bit about that. But actually, with the goal of competing in bodybuilding, it's been about 2 years now. And I'm really excited, because I'm such a baby to this whole bodybuilding world. And I feel like up until this point, I've done pretty well. I love it. And I'm hoping to make it career, lifestyle, and a way to reach out to others. So, 2 years done, and here's to 2 more awesome years and then some. So do you do typical bulk and cut cycles? And same thing goes, I've been doing flexible dieting for a little longer than 2 years, probably 2.5 or 3 years now. And more so bulking and cutting. It's more of a reverse diet and cutting cycle. So on and off, it's been a long time. I've been going through periods of reverse dieting, slowly adding in calories through mostly carbs and fats each week, trying to keep my weight about the same. And then after a few months of that, then I'll do some cutting or contest prep, and then go right back into reverse diet. So it's not a typical bulk cycle, because a lot of people will bulk and they'll just start eating more and they don't really track their intake. So I guess it's more of a precise and controlled bulk. But the goal of reverse dieting is to slowly increase your metabolic rate without putting on excessive amounts of body fat, because whenever you do try to go and cut again, it's going to be that much harder to get that extra body fat off, versus doing it nice and slow and steady so that you can stay relatively lean all year. That's the goal long term. So, and I do plan on reverse dieting after my show in October, and I will take you guys with me on that as well and give y'all updates. Do you have a regular 9 to 5 outside of fitness? I love this question, because this is my job, not YouTube. I'm an online coach. I'm a certified NASM personal trainer, and I have made it my career. I've made it my job to be a coach and a trainer. It was a year ago actually, I worked 8 to 5 at an office job here in town. It was a very comfortable, very safe job. I got paid pretty well, and I was moving up in terms of finances. I was getting more money because I was doing well at my job. I enjoyed the company, I enjoyed the people that I worked with, but I was not happy. I did not feel fulfilled. I spent 40 plus hours of my week in an office inside a building working on a computer, and it just wasn't what I enjoyed. And when it came down to it, I'm really big on doing what you love, and it's taken me a few years to get there, but I've realized that fitness and health and helping others is my passion. Started working towards my personal training certification, and to be 100% honest, I took a leap of faith and I quit that office job. I think it's a little over a year ago that I told him, I said, look, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for, letting me work with your company, but I've got to do this. And this was one of those things, if I didn't take that leap of faith and try and make something of this, I was going to spend my whole life wondering. And so I sat down with my husband, we talked about the finances, we talked about the pros and cons, and what it might mean for us in the future. And of course, him being as amazing as he is, he said, we're going to make it work. Let's do this. So I quit my job. I got my personal training certification. I got my personal training certification and started taking on more online clients. And not gonna lie, it doesn't make as much money as I did working a steady hourly wage job with benefits. But I cannot tell you how much I love what I do now. And being able to work from anywhere and work for yourself is awesome. And I'm just so thankful that I did that. So this is my job. And slowly over time, I worked at Metroflex with one-on-one clients for a little while, as well as doing my online training, but decided to stick with just the online route because I wanted to start this YouTube channel. I wanted to build a bigger online brand because it's all about the social media now, and it's all about figuring out how to market your business and market yourself. And I was figuring that out, and I've got ideas of where I want to go, and I needed to focus all of my time on that. So no more one-on-one in-person training at the gym, just doing online. I've got clients that check in every day of the week except Saturday, but I have clients that check in every day. Of course, if you're one of my clients, you know that all of my clients have my cell phone number, so they call, they can text, and they're emailing me at any time for any type of help, encouragement, if they just need to vent, if they need help hitting their macros for the day. So I'm usually on my phone at any time I've got a client texting or emailing me. So but I love it. It can be stressful at times, but I love what I do, and I cannot be more blessed to be able to say that. So this is my job. And then starting this whole YouTube channel, I don't get paid for this. This is just something that I'm doing on the side, but I'm trying to build as part of my brand. So like I said, you guys, your support really, really helps this channel, and thank you so much. I've been eating healthier for a few years and working out. Still, after about 3+ years, I have stubborn fat around my midsection. I've tried lots of cardio with weights, little cardio with heavy weights, no luck. Any suggestions? These types of questions are hard because I don't know all of the details. You truly know your body more than anybody, but it sounds like, our bodies store fat and lose it where they want. So my trouble section on my body, I'll see changes in my face, I'll see changes in my arms, in my chest, and in my back, but the thighs and love handle, front ab area is the absolute last place that it goes. I think before my last show, my legs, I don't know if they actually got lean enough, but everywhere else was super lean. But it's just one of those things, your body holds on to that fat, and it might be the absolute last place that you lose it. You might be ripped here, but something here. Unfortunately, there's no amount of crunches, there's no amount of cardio that will, or there's no amount of wraps or sweatbands or whatever to get rid of this fat. Consistency, time, and figuring out what works best for your body. Of course, with my coaching, I always recommend strength training, whether that's through lifting and typical compound lifting in the gym, or finding something that works better for your lifestyle, because not everybody wants to lift heavy weights in the gym. but some type of strength training. So not just running, not just the elliptical, not just cardio. You need to strengthen your muscles, and actually the more lean muscle that you have on your body, the more you can increase your resting metabolic rate. So you burn more calories on a daily basis, even when you're not working out. That's why you'll see a bunch of bodybuilders and people that lift who eat a lot. It's because it takes a lot of energy to maintain that muscle and to fuel their body properly. So really, it's just consistency. I would highly recommend looking up Layne Norton on YouTube. He's got a full video series, start from the bottom. He's got videos about why yo-yo dieting might hurt you more than help you in the end. Reverse dieting that you might want to look into. So if you're doing 5 or 6 hours of cardio per week and you're eating 12 to 1,300 calories a day, you might not be eating enough for your body to actually be burning fat efficiently. So you might want to look into reverse dieting for a while before cutting again. And as much as it sucks, it's just something that you have to accept might be more beneficial in the long run, because so many people go through crazy cycles of yo-yo dieting on and off, and then they end up heavier and with more body fat than when they initially started dieting. So if you take some time to recover that metabolism, add some calories back in, then you can diet down on more calories and less cardio and possibly maintain it more long term. So if you guys have any questions, check out my website, blueberryfitness.com. It's got my contact information on there. So I do online coaching, and I help with flexible dieting, and then I help with workout programs, so I can create something or help you find something that works for you. So feel free to get in contact with me. But like I said, look up Layne Norton on YouTube. He is awesome, and he's a big advocate for flexible dieting and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, not just a temporary diet. So what are your everyday supplements? Favorite brands or flavors? Thoughts on untracked once a week cheat meals. Start off each morning with multivitamin, fish oil, B complex, anxiety free, D vitamin, and I believe that's it. And then in my every morning I take 5 grams of creatine and 1 scoop of BCAAs. And then of course I use protein powder in all my baking. I make protein sludge, so I have a lot of protein powder. So those are my everyday supplements, very simple. Favorite brands or flavors? Favorite protein, Cellucor, by far. The flavors, they have such a wide variety of flavors. I'm not even a Cellucor rep, but I highly recommend Cellucor protein. It bakes really well. My favorite flavors are cinnamon swirl, s'mores, red velvet cake. If you go to bodybuilding.com, they always have like buy 2 get 1 free or buy 1 get 1 half off. So it's always really easy to get a variety of flavors with those. Favorite BCAAs are the Cybation Extend branched chain amino acids. Those by far the best tasting amino acids that I have ever had. So good. Highly recommend. They're not super expensive either. So as far as creatine goes, I just take a very simple creatine monohydrate. All of those crazy expensive, whatever they add to it, do the same exact thing as creatine monohydrate. Just add that to some water, flavor it a little bit, and you're good to go. Thoughts on untracked once a week cheat meals? Find what works for you. To be 100% honest, when it comes to flexible dieting, the whole idea and basis and goal is for you to no longer feel restricted in your daily life and diet. So allowing foods in moderation throughout the week, being able to go out to eat with your family and not freaking out because they don't have plain broccoli and chicken, or sitting there and drinking on your water while and then you go home and eat your Tupperware meal. And this is just in regards to making this a lifestyle, not contest prep, not regarding contest prep at all, because that's a whole different ballgame. On contest prep, you do have to be more specific. So going out to eat or not tracking your macros, if you've only got 8 weeks until your show and you go out to eat and you estimate your macros, you know, the cook could have added 2 tablespoons of oil to your chicken, or cheese or butter or something that you don't know about. Even if you look it up in MyFitnessPal and you track it, that could completely negate your caloric deficit for the whole week and set you back a week. And once you start getting really, really lean, that can make a big difference. So in regards to contest prep, I recommend staying as consistent with tracking as possible. You can still go out to eat, just know that there's a possibility of not being as consistent with those macros, unless you hand them a food scale and say, hey, give me 100 grams of rice, please. And did you prepare that with any extra oil? So that's when you do have to get a little more precise. There's not as much leeway, but it's just part of the lifestyle. Regarding long-term longevity and making it work as a healthy overall mindset, I recommend, you know, not tracking every single day. But it might take you tracking your macros for a year. So my camera just died and I had to charge it for 3 hours. So I'm back. It might take you about a year to learn what portion sizes truly look like and what your body actually needs in regards to caloric and macronutrient intake. So I do recommend that a lot of people track consistently for a good amount of time until they can find that balance between allowing some, you know, treat foods into their weekly diet without feeling the need to binge or go overboard, because that is one thing that I struggled with big time when I first started flexible dieting. Was I couldn't figure out how to balance all of it. I think that it's crucial to find the time and figure out how to find that balance between yourself and food before incorporating more of the cheat meal mentalities. But I do feel if you are at a comfortable place with your body and, you know, you don't have a certain show date or you don't have to make weight for an event, there is nothing wrong with going out and having an untracked meal, or, you know, not tracking for every single day or as consistently. You know that whenever you do have specific goals that you need to hit or you want to hit, you do have to be a little more consistent with your intake. So unless you know very specifically and are very good at estimating macronutrients or your intake or portion sizes, you know, if you go out to eat and you don't track but you have a certain goal that you want to hit in a shorter deadline, want to do an untracked meal or something that doesn't necessarily fit into your intake. So it really just kind of comes down to personal preference. If you can make it work within your goals, short term and long term, and kind of what's mentally healthiest for you. But as far as cheat meals go, I don't do cheat meals myself. Used to, but I've struggled with binge eating in the past, and so by switching over to more of a flexible dieting mindset, I was able to allow normally bad foods and cheat foods into my weekly intake. So I'll have ice cream throughout the week, but it's one serving. But it's awesome to me to be able to have that balance with food where I can have one serving of ice cream, make it fit into my intake, and move on without chalking it up as, you know, a loss, going and eating my weight in Oreos after that because I've already wasted the entire day and I might as well continue to eat whatever I want and then start back on my diet tomorrow. So that's why I don't do cheat meals. And as far as contest prep goes, I, you know, track consistently because I do have a date that I'm shooting for, so I need to be consistent and on point as much as possible. Whenever I start reverse dieting, I'll probably start incorporating some untracked meals into my weekly routine so that I can step away from the phone and away from MyFitnessPal and try and make sure that I still have a healthy balance between me and food, because that is ultimately the most important long term. I would much rather have a good balance with myself and with food than have a shelf full of bodybuilding trophies and an eating disorder. What motivated you to get into fitness? What keeps your fire going? Big question. You know, it initially started, I worked at a front desk of a tiny little gym in Wimberley during the summer. And I mean, it was such a small gym, maybe 5 or 6 members came in throughout my whole shift, which was a whole Saturday or whole Sunday. So I wasn't really doing a lot of actual front desk type work. I was cleaning the gym. But I started actually working out there. Basic workout routine. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing something, and that was the most important part. This is whenever all my crazy eating fads and yo-yo dieting started, but at the same time I started incorporating more fitness into my life. I was playing tennis during the school year, but other than that I wouldn't do anything because I didn't really enjoy being active or running, and lost a good amount of weight during the summer. So that's kind of what sparked my interest in fitness. At the time, I wasn't really healthy. Looking back, you know, I didn't eat properly. I was doing way too much cardio. I had a not good mentality about my body and what my goals were. But that sparked me into learning more and researching. So I think that's when the little seed was planted. Last question I'm going to do for you guys. I know this video is running a little long. What keeps my fire going? I like this question because a lot of people assume that if you're on show prep or you have a set date or you have to make weight for something, that's what motivates you. But it doesn't. It doesn't always motivate me. The fact that I am going to be standing on stage in October, yes, it lights a fire under my butt. That fire doesn't rekindle itself. When the only thing in that fire is some warm embers that aren't even lit, what do? Right? That's honestly the days that it's so hard to explain. It's a mentality thing. There's no motivation. There's some days when I go to the gym, I don't want to be there. I'm not motivated. I don't have the Rocky theme song playing in my head. I'm not super pumped. I may have taken extra pre-workout to try and get me motivated, but it doesn't work. I'm in a bad mood. We're crunched on time. I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. You know, everything in the world can go wrong. And the last thing I want to do is finish a workout. There's no passion. There's no drive. You know, I don't always enjoy the gym. But it's that mentality of knowing that I will be able to finish and that I will be better from pushing through is what makes me finish. Most of the time those workouts aren't even good. If I go in and I'm not motivated and I'm not ready to do it, you almost have to put your blinders on and just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf says, just do it. Nobody's gonna make you do it. With my clients, you know, I can write the most inspiring and motivating and encouraging email, but I cannot get in my car, drive to your house, pick you up, and force you through the workout. But there has to be something in here, a switch that you can flip to get it done. And once you find that little nugget, whatever that switch is flipped by, hold on to it. Because like I said, that is what is going to push you on the days that everything goes wrong. I think that that's where the true passion comes out, and not to say that those workouts are, you know, extremely passionate. I don't feel amazing. That passion deep down inside you, I think, is what keeps those embers from going out completely. And over time, I think that pushing through those days and those workouts makes it easier and you get better at putting your blinders on. But if one of those days comes up and every time it does you give up, you're not strengthening that. You're not strengthening your willpower. You're not strengthening that determination, because you'll always have that fallback. Well, I can just leave. But if you've spent, a third of your workouts putting your blinders on and pushing through and getting it done, then why not just do it again? So I don't have a clear-cut answer for that question, but I hope that kind of helps y'all get an idea of what keeps me going. And I hope that you guys can find that too, because once you do, you know that you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for, and it's so much easier to appreciate that once you figure out how to get through those times. All the questions that I'm going to be answering for this Q&A session. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, hit that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see next. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all of your support. We have hit 800 subscribers. 800. That's pretty exciting for me. This channel is such a little baby right now, but I'm working on growing it, you guys. So your feedback is truly appreciated. Every thumbs up, every comment, every subscriber. You guys mean so much to me. So thank you for coming along, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see y'all on Wednesday for my contest prep update. Bye.